Welcome to our channel, where we update the latest, most complete and shocking episodes from the hit TV series Beyond the Gates. Don't take your eyes off the screen, because what's about to happen will make you unable to believe what you're seeing. Here are the latest shocking developments in the Dupree family story. The family reunion at the Dupree mansion took place in a solemn and emotional atmosphere, when members of this long-standing family gathered after many months apart. Laughter, glasses of wine and intimate hugs between generations made the scene seem perfect. But the peace was only a fragile surface, because an earthquake was silently waiting to tear everything apart. While everyone was taking souvenir photos in the lavender garden, where the family had held many weddings and birthday parties, a black limousine slid into the main entrance, creating a sense of nameless curiosity and anxiety. When the car door opened, Pamela stepped out with a cold, proud gaze and an air that no one could ignore. No one knew who she was. No one in the family had ever heard of her name. But Pamela's appearance was not quiet. She walked straight into the middle of the chatting crowd, stopped in front of Vernon, the head of the family, and without any formal introduction, she pulled out from her coat pocket a large envelope stamped with a red seal along with a stack of documents. Everyone's eyes were on her, whispers, suspicious looks, and silence. Pamela declared emphatically that she was Vernon's biological daughter, the result of a secret relationship that he had kept hidden for nearly 4 decades, with his former college lover. And now, she had come not only to reveal her true identity, but also to reclaim the half of the estate that she claimed was rightfully hers. Witnessed by dozens of relatives, friends and even staff in the house, Pamela placed the DNA document on the table in the midst of a completely stunned scene. All eyes were stunned to see the undeniable evidence. Accompanying it was a letter from the lawyer, a legal order to divide the property if Vernon did not agree. All of this was not just a shock, but a bomb that destroyed all the beliefs and images that the Dupree family had long maintained. Nicole, Vernon's legitimate daughter, the legal heir to the entire estate, was the first to be deeply hurt. She stood still, her eyes filled with tears, trying to deny the truth that was hitting her in the face. But when Pamela turned to look at her, with a look that was not exactly hateful but somewhat resentful, Nicole understood that everything she had believed in all this time was just part of a perfectly hidden lie. Nicole stepped back, her hand shaking as she held the glass of wine she had raised to toast the meeting just a few minutes ago. No one had time to come to her side, because the entire room seemed frozen. No one spoke up to defend Vernon, because no one knew what to say. Vernon did not react as usual. He did not shout, did not protest, just bowed his head and looked at the floor, as if he himself was tired of keeping the secret for so long. His silence, in that moment, was more terrifying than any confession. It was an unspoken acknowledgement. It was a silent nod to every shocking statement Pamela had made. The atmosphere in the mansion quickly turned from warm to cold like a winter wind. Relatives began to leave the group chat, gathering in small clusters, whispering about the exposed secret. Unanswered questions floated everywhere. Had Vernon ever intended to tell the truth? Why had Pamela chosen this moment to appear? Who had she been all these years? And most importantly, what would happen to the vast fortune the Dupree family had spent decades building? Pamela stood still, unshaken. She did not shed a tear, did not flinch at the coldness of the crowd. She had waited too long for this moment. She was no longer the child her mother had hidden away in the darkness of shame. She was no longer the product of a rejected mistake. She was now an integral part of the Dupree bloodline, confirmed by law, science, and the humiliating silence of her own father. Nicole collapsed in her room after leaving the meeting in tears. She rummaged through childhood photos, letters from her father, birthdays that had once been sacred, all of which had now become lies wrapped in the guise of a model father. She tried to understand why he could do this to her mother, to her, to the entire family. The feeling of betrayal crept into her every breath. She had not only lost her unique position as an heiress, but also the image of the perfect father who had supported her throughout her formative years. As for Vernon, he locked himself in his study all night, not seeing anyone, not eating or drinking. His eyes looked tired, older, as if all his strength had been drained in just a few short hours. He knew things would never be the same again. And worse, he knew he no longer had the strength to explain or save anything. Pamela had entered the family with a terrifying determination. And she had no intention of leaving until she had taken back what she believed was hers. The story did not end there. With legal intervention, Vernon's assets were at risk of being frozen pending a decision from the court. The shares in Dupree Industries could be divided, causing a fierce power struggle between the family members. It was not just the financial problem, the honor and reputation of the entire Dupree family, built over many generations, was in jeopardy. The press began to receive information leaked from the caterer at the party. Sensational headlines about Vernon's illegitimate daughter flooded social media sites, pushing the whole family into a media storm that no one was prepared for. Pamela did not back down. After returning from the meeting, she immediately held a press conference, affirming her desire to be recognized as Vernon's legitimate child and receive full benefits from the Dupree estate. Her statements were confident, decisive, and were heavily exploited by the media. Meanwhile, Nicole decided to hire a private team of lawyers to protect her rights, despite the emotional pain for her father who was collapsing. She refused to be replaced, and even less accepted to share what she believed she had preserved and deserved. The war between two daughters, one raised in luxury, one grown up in darkness, has now officially begun. But what is more terrifying is not the dispute over property, but the collapse of relationships, of trust, of memories that were once considered sacred. Vernon, a man once respected by the industry and the community, now has to face the consequences of his own actions. Two daughters of his blood, standing on two opposing sides, both carrying within them the hurt and resentment that he may never be able to heal. Thank you for watching until the end. If you want to continue to update the next shocks from Beyond the Gates and a series of other thrilling episodes, don't forget to follow and subscribe to our channel today. The most surprising things are still ahead.